Hey, it's Thursday night, man. Thursday night, ATL Flag Football Podcast. And we are back in the building, man, after a nice little hiatus. Time off, everybody to regroup. Vacations taken and free agency opened. Wild, wild west out here in the free agency world.
Yes.
Of course, you know it's your boy Low, man. I got my man, Mr. 5-star here in sports self, Mr. James Reese, is in the building, man. Coming off of ain't no telling where James been. But last I saw you was at the bowling alley, you know, throwing some pins down, and I'm sure you're gonna talk about the results of that. But you also have the opening, the opening of this is season 11.
Season 11.
Season 11.
Yeah.
Of 5-star sports about to kick off. Looks to be the biggest and the brightest of ever. Would you say it's at least the biggest? Is that right?
Well,
team-wise,
last season was the biggest.
So we lost.
We had two teams that took a step out this season.
Okay.
But it's still, you know, we had 19. You know, but we got one of the We got a new team that has been much anticipated. That'll be making its debut. We had some moving around. We had a lot of things going on. So, of course, we kicked the season off with our preseason league bowling tournament. I just got back the night before from half of my pre-birthday celebration.
Okay.
And then I spent the last week celebrating with several different events. Lots of people came out to support on various different events that we had between Wednesday and Monday, so that was great. 51 is a great age to be.
51, huh?
51.
Okay,
51,
okay.
Blessed for my health. Thankful that, I was able to wake up and see it. A lot of people, unfortunately, did not wake up on Sunday, so I was blessed for that. In good health, so.
How about that?
Thanking God for all of that. But, so we had our preseason bowling tournament, which turned out to be extremely, extremely fun. We had quite a few teams to turn out for that. It was much more competitive than I expected. It was some really great games. Shout out to, all of the teams that participated. My top 3 teams, of course, Shockwave, you came in 3rd place, I believe.
That's correct.
And you came in 3rd place, but you had the highest individual bowler.
That's also correct.
So you did have 1st place for individual, but you, as a team-wise, you came in 3rd. I think what probably hurt you was our producer.
You think? That's what you said?
Dwayne didn't quite bowl his best game that day. His fingers probably were sore. And then Georgia Elite came in 2nd place.
I got Loco though. Loco talked all that trash on my lane though, man. but I put a fishing rod on you, Loco, and started reeling you back in, buddy.
And then, P&F came in 1st place and won half off league registration. And I asked them, in the interview, you can go look. We did do a little compilation video for that, and asked them, what their strategy was. And he said, basically, he figured if everybody could just bowl 100, if you could just break 100, that was
definitely the mindset.
Help you win, and that basically kind of helped them win. So shout out to P&F.
We had the same concept, James. Same concept that we had. Everybody get 100.
Dwayne, what happened?
Everybody get 100. We in now.
What Dwayne? I mean, everybody had terrible lanes, Dwayne. Everybody. Them was some of the driest lanes I ever seen in my life.
Ours was particularly bad because the TV reflected off the arrows, so you couldn't even see the arrows on the lane.
Now that part is true. The lane, like when everything was over with, I went to the other side just messing around, and yeah, you could, if you bowl with arrows, if you focus in on arrows on a lane, it was really hard to see on that side. However, I saw from a coaching standpoint, I saw the issue, and I told my player, I said, hey man, listen, stop being stubborn. You're trying to still bowl your way. You got to adjust to this particular lane.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Bowling your way is not going to work. You got to adjust and just, because we all complaining, but we got to adjust to this particular lane.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it took him to after the game to realize, if I could.
Yeah, because I remember after the game,
he was slinging strikes left and right.
Like, well, what was this doing again?
He was slinging strikes left and right, James.
Because I know our lane was bad because I missed like 5 spares because of the dryness of the lane. They could get no curve. Everything was just going straight, and it got.
That ball hit. That was it.
That was it. I won my lane, sorry about that, Caleb. He was trying. He tried his best.
Beat Caleb over
he
there?
put up a good fight, and I came through in the 10th frame and, took over and won my lane. But it was some. I saw some really decent scores individually across the board. I was surprised at some of the scores. So that actually turned out to be really great to where everybody wants to do that again.
Yeah.
So we will be running that back.
Okay. Yeah, that was successful. I agree with you. That was a good turnout.
Now I found out, of course, at the day of, they said that the oiling machine was broke.
Is that right?
Because when we asked them to re-oil, they said the machine. That's why they were like that. You know, I will. You know, and everybody was mentioning a lot of other lanes. We should have went here. We should have went here. However, Friday night the rates changed. At all the bowling alleys we looked at, what you saw with the prices during the week were not the prices on the weekend. So for our money, that was the best option for $20. But you know, we will, you know, possibly look at some other stuff, or you know, maybe the lanes may be fixed by then or whatever. But that was a huge success. You know, we had teams that even tried to get in the day of, but it was a little too late. So, but so shout
That's
out.
cool. And that was good. That was good fun. Good team camaraderie, league camaraderie. You know, everybody was kind of socializing. You know, that's kind of what you want from a league, man. So
Picked up a few free agents.
yeah. Oh yeah, it was almost like a free agency reveal. You know what I mean? When you started seeing some people, like, you know, you thought they played with one team, but turned out they were another team. And we didn't find out till it was on the lanes. You know?
That is true. But I'm saying, no, with the league, we picked up a few people that saw us there that ended up reaching out and
really?
have been added to different teams. So that was one of the reasons why I asked people to wear their team jerseys so that people could see what we were doing and team awareness, league awareness. Had
That's
the
cool.
signs up in the beginning so people saw that.
What up, Billy?
So definitely, great event. What's going on, Billy?
So have you been surprised before we get into the flag? Have you been surprised by these NBA playoffs? Have you been following it?
So I am surprised that these two teams are the two teams that were here. I'm not surprised at what's taking place. Wait a minute, is that an 8?
Yeah, they were playing Indiana tonight.
They fighting, but 3 in a row is probably
You ain't gonna beat them 3 in a row.
impossible. You know, his dad shocked me. I was surprised at Halliburton's dad going in. You know, they let him back in, but you know, you don't see that too often.
Yeah,
but it's been some major, some shocking developments at the teams that.
I said it here in the club a couple weeks ago. I said, man, can you imagine a person that would have been bold enough to put, let's just say, $100 on Indiana and New York in the conference final prior to the season started?
I doubt if anybody even did that.
Hey, man.
If it happened, it was just I'm just gonna do some
Because the
crazy
odds
stuff.
on that had to have been pretty doggone good.
Yeah,
You know,
I
yeah.
think they'd have a nice payout if that's what they predicted, because clearly nobody else did.
Yeah. But I saw last night, it was disappointing to see Ant-Man go out like that. You know, Ant-Man being an ATL and all. I wish they would have put up a better fight than what they put up. But OKC is clearly been the better team all year long, and they definitely showed it last night. And I just don't see anybody here in the East that can beat them. I think it's a foregone conclusion. I'd be really surprised. I think Indiana will give them the better game. I think they'll run New York off. They'll run New York.
I
out the
anticipated
city.
being Indiana and OKC.
It has to be.
It would have. It would be even a
York
bigger
wouldn't
shock
stand a
than what
chance.
we've already seen if New York made it.
Yeah. New York gets swept.
But
They'll
how
sweep New
about
York.
the irony of the choke? That was, and he was there. You know, it wasn't quite the same, but still, just
At the same time, 30 years?
your 30-year anniversary,
Yeah, it's
you know, being down by a lot and coming back in, you know. And if his foot hadn't have been on the line, that would have made it even more.
Oh, that would have been a serious choke.
But just still, you know, that was a great moment.
I agree with you, Justin. He got to play to the basket. You know, if you want to take it to the next level, you got to be Kobe-ish. You got to be LeBron-ish. You got to be Jordan-ish. You know what I mean? That's playing back to the basket. You got to work on that turnaround, Jay. You have to. They're going to continue to D you up the way they're doing. You know what I mean? But you're right. He has to turn it up to that next level of his game, man. He's such a fantastic player. But yeah, you're right, Justin. He got to change that. You got to add that to the repertoire. And if he adds that to the repertoire, you know. I think they still might be missing one more piece. What you think, Dwayne? Maybe one more. I think something's still missing. Julius Randle did not show up at all.
Showed up, they might even been close.
Yeah, Julius didn't show up at all. I agree with that.
And they lost game 4 by 2 points.
They can hope for next season, Geechee, but it's done. It's over. You're not beating them 3 games straight.
I understand you need hope, Geechee, but 3 in a row, I can't see it.
I don't see it.
I can't see it, man. You had to win one of those in New York the first time. You know what I mean? But they've been impressed. I've been impressed for them to get this far. I mean, that's a lot to be celebrated. You know, hopefully they don't do like the Hawks did, get to the conference final and you don't see them no more. But
I guess a surprising 3 and a hope. Geechee kind of know a little bit about that. So
3 and a hope.
3 in a row.
Oh, and hey, listen. Anything's possible. That's what KG said. Kevin Garnett said, anything's possible. I just don't think this is.
Yeah, anything but that. I mean, they probably win tonight. What's the second quarter? What quarter is this?
Yeah, they're in the third quarter, 18-point lead. But listen,
I mean, hey.
we know in this series, 18-point lead means
Ain't
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, it means
Ain't
nothing. That's facts. You really can't rule this one out. Especially if Indiana just starts shooting threes. That's what teams kill me on. I don't understand. If I'm up by 18, I'm not going to keep shooting threes.
There's no reason to.
There's no reason to.
Because that's how you get them back in the league. You shoot the threes, miss, they go get 2 easy points. Shoot the 3, they miss, they go get. Next thing you know, you're in a close game, and then they get up, and then you shooting the threes to get the lead, and you keep missing, and you end up losing the game.
Now things start getting tight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now things start getting tight. So it's been an interesting series, though, man. So anyway, real quick, one more question I got to ask you. We've had a whole lot of talk about, no, sir, I'm back playing my regular team. Who is your regular team, Justin?
That's true. Cause
who's your regular team?
YB.
Is it Joe World?
New Jack.
New Jack?
It ain't funny, but
yeah,
you've been with him.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. So, but Travis Hunter, man, if that was your son, your nephew, now let's take away all that. Let's take away all that.
To see it?
I'm just saying, let's take away all the gold digger stuff and all that stuff. If you just take that out the equation, if you have a 22, 23-year-old son is about to sign a $40 million contract and wants to get married, do you sit them down and say you have to get a prenup no matter how long you've known the young lady, or do you don't say nothing? What would be your approach if that's your son, your nephew? What would you do?
Definitely, 100%, 100%. And I would also tell him, pay attention if she has an issue.
They calling out all Justin's teams. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I thought they even threw G in there for a second. But yes, I would definitely have that conversation with him, and I was like, and you need to be even more wary if she's against it. Especially after all of what you went through with her in college and the situations that happened. No, sign it. Ain't got nothing to do with love. It's about being realistic and responsible, because we know people love money. And the love of money is the root of all evil.
But when you say all the things you went through in college, the only caveat I think to that is the fact that she was with him prior to the fame that, as we know him as. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She was already there. You know what I mean? She was, now we all know the story about "You Ain't My Type," which I think was too much was ran into that, because no disrespect to Travis Hunter, but he probably wasn't her type. I think people look at it as we see, you look at her, he probably wasn't her type. I don't think that was an untrue statement. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So people killed him for that, but it's probably true. So what made her lean that way or whatever? Maybe it was a potential.
A potential.
But it was just that. How many people, we all can say, how many people that we went to high school with or even college with that you thought were going to be that dude and end up not being that dude? You know what I mean? For injuries could have happened. All kinds of things could have happened.
Yeah, Yeah.
So, but my point is, she's been around throughout this duration. So would you still, with that being said,
Yup.
still conversate?
Yup.
Okay.
Yup. Definitely. Because what's the rush all of a sudden now?
He wanted to be married though. He's been saying that. He said he wanted to be married as soon as he got drafted. He said he's been saying it 2 years ago.
I think it's a mistake.
And I think he's excited to be with her.
Uh-huh.
Again, he probably wasn't that successful prior to. And, you know, she's not an ugly girl. You know what I mean? So I think he's excited to be with
Can't
her.
necessarily be said about him, but
Because but
I mean, all that easy.
so, you know,
But
I followed him. I followed all the, you know, they did their little home videos. You know what I mean? I was watching all that stuff over the last couple of years. So he's really crazy about her. You know what I mean? I mean, he literally, they've been saying for 2-3 years,
She from Atlanta, they know how to operate.
he would do nothing but practice, work out, go home. He didn't party. He didn't do none of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Saw that potential.
That's what he did, though. Is my point.
Yeah,
This is him running back.
She saw.
But he could have still, you know, he could have been, you know, hey, I'm still being me. You know what I mean? You chill. She wouldn't went nowhere.
Because
But
their
he
check
did.
coming.
Right. That's my point.
They'll wait till after the check. They'll risk it. They'll put in the work to get the payday.
He said, if my money
That's
up,
it.
she better sign that prenup. He started made them out with the colors
And
and.
that's true. Keisha said he's been famous since high school.
Yeah, I mean, he's been very popular since high school.
So,
I
you
mean,
know,
I remember watching the state championship game and the All-Star game. Dude been a dog now.
You know, I mean, not saying she is, but some of them are put in that 10, 15 years to get that $10 to $15 million.
Gates said he was supposed to write her some kind of contract to where if they split, here's $50 million and we over. Don't forget the brother hyped Travis up to his sister, and she's smart enough and knew it would be worth it. She from Atlanta, know how to operate. Yeah, Travis loved that girl through high school. I feel like she grew to love him. That's my point, Justin. I think she grew to love him. I agree with that. I do agree with that.
She probably did grow to love him when she started dreaming, had the $1 million dreams.
I mean, but James.
I take that. I'm not
But
saying
listen,
that's what she is. We're just talking about potential audience.
But my point to that note is, if it wasn't her, it would be it was a bunch of girls hoping to get with him. She just happened to be the lucky one. But all of them saw the same potential.
You're right. And
All of them
that's
trying to get with
why
him.
you
So
protect yourself.
right now,
That's
I
all.
agree with you.
You just protect yourself just in case.
No.
If you never need it, you never need it, and
Right.
hey, it's no big deal. But
Yeah. Now, at the end of the day, I agree with you. If it was my son, my nephew, I'd be like, hey man, you have to do this. I'd have played with look, and make it where, you know, the prenup shouldn't be, especially in this particular situation. No, if you came in there, you already got $50 million in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that prenup is different from you're here with me prior to me getting this $40 million contract. We've already been together. I think that prenup might look differently than 2 years from now and I already got it.
I don't know, because she still didn't do anything to get the money. Just because she's stuck with him.
What wife does?
That's what I'm saying. So, and
None of them
But don't
running
sit
the
here and
routes.
say, I was there behind you, all those loud. You were working.
But
Just like anybody, you knew what was coming. So no, you didn't deserve none of this.
Yeah.
Because I had the talent.
But
not you.
if you're about to be I'm saying in terms of if you're about to be the mother of my children, you know what I mean, if we're about to make this marriage work, I'm just saying I would want him to get some type of prenup, but it would be respectful of the fact of where we are in this position. That's all I'm saying. You know, but you know, it shouldn't be a half thing, but I'm gonna make sure you're taken care of, you know, and if we have kids, which I'm sure they're going to, you know, and probably soon. Dwayne said he thinks she's already pregnant. Wouldn't surprise me. You know what I mean? If she's smart, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna make sure they get that seed. You know what I mean? 'Cause that automatically makes them dollar signs go up. But you know, I wish him the best, man. I hope for his sake, because I think if anything went wrong, man, he might be like what's the quarterback for Carolina when his old girl left him for the basketball player, the one from Alabama, Bryce Young. Man, Bryce Young dated that same girl throughout. She left him for a basketball player. That joker there last year. That first year he went his game went. So you know, you just never know. You just never know. But it's a dirty game out there. Yeah, Ant-Man did it big. But, you know, Ant-Man, you know, everything he's doing right now, he paid at this point. I think it'd be totally different for him. You know, he already got the money. This dude going into the money, so. Well, he already got some money because he got the NIL money. So it ain't like they've already had a little change in their pocket. So, anyway, good luck to him. All right, good deal. Did it 10. James, let's go into where you want to start, man. 5-Star Sports Season 11 is on the clock.
It is. Got 10 games in the pro division. 10 teams in pro, 9 in comp.
Are you gonna have lights on, by the way, or you just banking on? Because I saw the game times. I was like, that. Is it still light there at that time? Or was you banking on still, right?
No, not in the summer. It's already light.
So at 6 o'clock, we still good.
At 6 and even, yeah, it's not gonna get dark till like 9.
Oh really?
Sunset ain't right now. Sunset didn't go down till like 8:40 something.
Okay.
You know, it's light when I got here, so we ain't got to worry about that.
Gotcha.
That's not even an issue. So we got, LOZ has taken their talents to the pro division.
Mm-hmm.
They said that, they coming to show. They're looking to do what outsiders did, winning both divisions. And, I don't know if you guys have seen their Man 2025 promo video with LOZ on the cover of it. That was nice. And then
I'll check that out.
Then we got, of course, New Jack coming in for the first full season, and they loaded.
I bet.
I bet they loaded.
I bet. Everybody run to that shiny new car, boy.
I think they coming out there. They looking to make a statement. So, other teams don't look to be folding over, Other teams have also put pieces in place to come back out there and, give them a run for their money. So, it's going to be a great season. I really do say that. For years I've said, not for years, but for seasons I've said that, the comp divisions was United's to lose. Well,
I don't know. We can say
this season, I would have to say it's GOA's to lose. I'll still say United is a formidable opponent. They did finish second, but I would definitely have to say in the comp division, DOA would be the front runners. As they say, they left a lot of meat on the bone out there in that game. Terrell had to work on playoff Sunday. So I look for DOA to be back, out there in the forefront. Now, repeating 9-1, that would be a great accomplishment. I'm not sure if that's been done before. Well, no, I know it hasn't been done before in the comp division. So that would be a great feat for them.
I'm disappointed, doggone our hero who came in here with his own theme music ain't playing this season. I'm so disappointed in that.
Yeah, but he didn't come to the meeting. Ain't had no representative, ain't had no money, But, I think he'll take this and regroup. We probably see him at Brawl. I don't imagine him sitting out forever when he still feel like he got playing left in his system.
Shaw said the comp division is DOA to lose. Mm-hmm. United is a QB away, though. Mm-hmm. The real Geechee said I got PNF in comp. Trenton said who gave him that L.
I do think PNF has made themselves a formidable opponent now. They are in the conversation. But looking at the development, I think PNF is where DOA were a few seasons ago. or they've gotten to where United started out at when they became relevant, that we had to talk about them a lot. So I definitely saw a lot of improvement with PNF, and I do feel like that they will be back in the playoffs. I probably will put them, around the 3rd or 4th seed in the playoffs, and probably when, I got them winning their first round game, but I still say, DOA, this is your division to lose.
Interesting.
Because again, of all the cross games,
let's see if United takes this personal.
I mean, it's not even personal. I mean, if we look at
not to you, I'm talking about just in general.
Season, yeah. Because when I look at it, DNA was the only team in the comp division to win their pro game. There were, United was close, and somebody else was close, but this ain't horseshoes. It only counted, and DOA actually won it. So I just think that in that championship game, it just was flat. Gates. It's funny, when we was on the sideline watching it, Gates came out and he was like, before it even started, he looked at the two teams and he said that LOZ winning this. And right? I was like, why would you say that, Gates? He said, look at them. LOZ has got this energy. They're out here ready to roll. DOA is just sitting over there calm and reserved, like, it ain't that big of a deal to them. He said this energy that LOZ got, they're not losing. So I said, well, okay. And then on the first play, that's when DOA threw that bomb for the touchdown. First play of the game. But then LOZ just took over and ran away with it from there. So definitely, comp division is going to be interesting. But that pro division.
Dude said United for comp. DOA need to join the Arnold League with the ladies.
Oh my God.
God, oh.
Who is this?
I don't know. That's a he went.
Somebody replace.
He went with 2 jabs.
What was
and
the one we had last season? Who was it?
Crazy work, ain't it, John?
The one we couldn't identify.
Oh yeah.
He took his spot.
Hey, he went 2 jabs and uppercut, John. Good gracious.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. The word I was looking for, Don, flat. DOA was very flat at the beginning of that championship game. And that's what Gates said, felt like, he made his predictions the way they were. So, but then, like I said, this pro division is, this is a heavyweight season. It's some jabs, some uppercuts, this is going to be a good season. Outsiders is the defending champions. So, of course, you have to respect that it does go through them. But, I think New Jack coming in with the feeling that we're going to go through them on cruise control. Why would somebody call me in the middle of the podcast? We on the podcast right now. And so it's a league member, but I don't think YB's gonna lay down. I don't expect the team that gets slept on every year, even with the center with the short legs. I don't think Shockwave is gonna lay down, because that was what they said about you last season, Dwayne. Yeah. Those would be my front runners. But Rare Form's retooling, Predators right there. Billy's not going to miss the playoffs this season. Georgia Elite, came in strong at the end. I was telling somebody, they finished 5-5, but 2 of the games they lost were definitely 2 games where Montel wasn't there. And they had to use Neil as one quarterback and Zay as the other, who both are just not quarterbacks. And I think that, Montel definitely makes the difference in those 2, which puts them at 7-3, which totally changed the trajectory of the playoffs. I don't think anybody in the pro division is coming to lay down. And, again, LOZ is definitely coming out on a mission to show y'all that they belong. So I'm excited to see what their first week looks like. So, yeah, it's gonna be different over there in the pro division. And gosh, can't forget about Gas. God knows Gates probably sitting at home waiting for me not to mention Gas so he can light me up. But I mean, as long as you know you got Gio there from the start, you know, I think that put them at a slow start last season because Gio missed them first 2 games. But with him being there for the first 2 games, that totally changes the trajectory of what they can do. So this could be a great summer season, you know, to start this season 11 off with.
I agree. Well, I guess we know who Ben's 1990 plays for. He said pro division YB for the win. Well, if he don't play for him, at least he
don't think
familiar with him. Said, yeah, I guess he don't think the Predators gonna win. Gas ain't been good since Pee Wee left. They need to change the name to Trash. Hey man, this dude, hey, Ben's is just throwing nothing but haymakers tonight. Where we playing this season at? Interesting. But these comments came out strong week 1. We ain't even got started yet.
Ain't even got started. So this is gonna be. I mean, what are your thoughts about the season? Tell me how you feel.
I mean, I think you're correct. It's gonna be an exciting season. I think, you know, I think the comp division is gonna be ultra competitive. You would imagine DOA should be the front runner, and I think, like I said, United may take that personal, which might be a good thing. You know what I mean? Because they've been, you know, they've been the season favorite for the last couple of seasons here and come up short. I think it's gonna be very competitive, but I think there's gonna be a sleeper team somewhere in there. And you see how many teams are in the comp?
So we got Zoo, P and F.
Zoo back?
Goon Squad. What you thought they want?
What?
Zoo, Zoo, P and F, Goon Squad,
Okay.
DOA, Raiders, TYB, United, Swamp Bucks, and the Crew. But now, you know what? I'm glad you said that.
TYB they didn't change the name.
No, they back. They didn't. You know, they didn't lay down. They weren't scared. They came back to show.
Gates was ready for you. He said, "Show what?" He said, "Supposed to be the first team named 5 seasons, 3 championship games."
But speaking of sleeper teams, I did forget about. Well, I didn't forget about, but I think Raiders. Raiders has retooled and got some secret weapons that they're waiting to display that I don't think many people know about yet. And so that's going to be interesting. Oh, gosh, I forgot about Joe World. Joe World also has retooled with some new weapons that people aren't going to be expecting. So it's definitely anybody's.
So, well, I guess we'll see. Because we say new weapons, I guess a lot of these new weapons, are they going to be new weapons or are they going to be recycled weapons?
It's still new. It's new to them.
I mean, I just curious. So it's not an insult. I was just curious whether or not.
When I mean new
recycle guys. Gotcha.
Why they gotta be recycled?
I mean, free agency. That's all. That's what free agency is. It's free.
It's still new to the team person that bought it. I got a new car. It's new to them. You know, they haven't driven it before, so you know.
I gotcha.
These new toys are new to the teams that's getting them. So
Jay Youngblood say Ben's probably a bench player. Raiders ain't nothing ever gonna. Oh, that's why he said that, because he said about the Raiders. Billy said funny mentioned Joe World right after the Raiders.
That was not intentional. You know, that wasn't intentional. I now just caught what he's talking about. That wasn't intentional. It just came out like that. So it's interesting. I'm getting the picks ready so that we can get them in place.
He said, Jay, your team ain't been good since Reflex. That's what I'm wondering now. Raiders, are y'all? I know they're not gonna probably say so, but I just think are the Raiders being overlooked? Because this might be the time where they strike because now they're being overlooked.
But I just thought about it when I was looking over here, and I looked at them, and it popped in my mind about some of the new toys.
Mm-hmm.
Because Raiders has been a formidable team when they had people there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that normally they don't have people at the right time, and so they've looked very subpar. But with these new pieces, they could possibly be dangerous. I still say that DOA is the front runner because their record from last year and their play from last year dictate that. They didn't lose anything. So, yeah. They went 9-1. They didn't lose to any of the comp teams. And, so, they're still the team to beat.
Okay. Yeah, I just thought about it. I just thought, the Raiders are, it ain't like they're a slouch team. I think they might be overlooked and sneak, and I won't even say sneak because they got a good squad, so. It should be interesting, man. I think comps should be interesting. I think the pro, like you said, is going to be just as exciting as ever. How many teams in the pro? Let me get my over under ready. 10 teams. 6.
Oh, it's gonna 6.
6 making it.
6 making it, and if
So
you ain't got.
So the over under.
Well, let me look. Hold on. Let me analyze this. I say, based on the 10 teams that are there, I still say that the number 6 seed will be a tie at 5-5, and it's gonna be the point differential, just like it was this year. 5-5, but you're gonna have at least plus 30 to secure that spot. Because last season plus 24 didn't even get you in. Last season the number 6 seed had a plus 50.
So we had 11 teams last season. Pro or 10? How was it pro last season?
It was 11, but
oh, yeah. It was 10 that could make the playoffs.
yeah.
So we lost one then.
Yeah.
Who not playing in pro?
4-4.
Oh, that's right. 4 not playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
they
it's
didn't
still
make,
10.
they didn't make the playoffs last season. Anyway.
They were the last spot.
They were in the playoffs?
They made the last spot. But they had a plus 50 point differential.
Who did they lose to?
In the playoffs? The first round?
Is that first round?
Was it, so it was Outsiders and who was the 4 seed? Gas. Wasn't it Gas? Gas beat them.
Gas beat 4? Okay. All right.
Gas, am I correct? Did you not beat 4-4 in the playoffs? Because I think Outsiders beat Joe World and Gas.
So that means so the teams that were in the playoffs last season are all back.
Yes. Except
So
for 4-4.
No, they made the playoffs.
They're not back this season.
No, I said the teams that didn't make the playoffs are all back.
Yes.
So that was Rare Form, Predators. Who else?
Rare Form didn't make it. Predators didn't make it. Georgia Elite didn't make it.
Georgia Elite.
And that was it.
Now if it was 10 teams.
You just named 3 teams that didn't make it.
Right. So who the 4th one?
New Jack.
No, but it was 11 teams. That was
New Jack.
That would have been 5 though. New Jack wasn't qualified for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's still another team.
Georgia Elite, Rare Form,
Predators. Gotta be somebody else, ain't it? Yeah, because they weren't. It was 11 teams. It was still 10s. That's 4 teams didn't make it. Because New Jack would have been the 15.
Who didn't make it? You're right. Let's glance at last season and see what we can come up with.
Rare Form, Predators. Joe World made the playoffs?
Yeah, they lost in the first round to Outsiders. Who was it?
Who did we beat in the first round, Dwayne?
Y'all was in the second
We
round.
had a bye.
We had to buy
We beat
Georgia
Georgia Smoke.
Smoke.
Let me just, what I'm doing, I can just open up the
It had to be somebody to make it.
spring season. Here we go.
Shar said Pro only had 9 teams last season, I thought. Patriots not back. LOZ won and moved to Pro.
You right. It was 10 teams with
Okay.
New
All right.
Jack.
All right.
And then New Jack. So, yeah, that's what it was.
All right.
Thank you, Shard.
All right. So
It was 10 teams with New
it was
Jack.
9. It was 9 qualified for the playoffs.
Comp had 11 teams.
All right. All right.
So 6 made the playoffs.
Okay.
And 3 didn't.
Okay. Now all right. All right. Now we're on the same page. Okay.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Well, yeah, I think it's gonna be the over under gonna be 5 again. Now you say it's tight. 6. Well, to secure your spot is 6. That's the over under. To secure your spot, you're gonna have to win 6 games.
To secure it?
To secure it.
Yes.
To secure it, you got to win 6
5
games.
will put you on bubble
5 is gonna
time.
put you on the bubble.
Yes, definitely. And because I'm looking at this, I definitely see New Jack winning 6. I definitely see YB winning 6. I see Shockwave winning 6. Those are 3 teams that I think win 6 games. I'm not saying that any of the teams that I did not name cannot win 6 games, but those are the 3 that I see winning 6. Everybody else, I say they're up for grab. I'm saying outsiders definitely are in the playoffs, but there's only 6 spots. I mean, 4 teams ain't getting in. And because of the uneven number of teams, divisions rather, what I did this season is that, so everybody in the pro division will play each other. Everybody. And so that'll give you 1 game not, so you'll play the comp division once.
Okay.
And then to make it fair for the comp, I just had them play each other twice. Instead of making them play 2 pro teams, because that meant some of the pro teams wouldn't have played each other. I just made the comp teams play each other twice.
So with 10 teams, 6 in the playoffs, what week is the over/under week for you to start getting the complaints about, Jay? Why don't you just let all 10 teams in?
Week 3.
Week 3,
On the
or at least
15th.
8, or at least 8 teams.
On the 15th. Because somebody gonna be 0-4 by the 15th. No, somebody gonna be 1-3.
Because you know you're going to get that complaint. You know you're going to get that call, right? Why you going to
Ain't
let everybody in, James?
Ain't happening.
Ain't happening.
Ain't happening.
So, but at what point would you go to 8? With 12 teams, 14? Like, what point would you go up from 6? Is there a point that you would go up from 6? Just out of curiosity. How many teams would you have to have?
If there were 12 teams,
12 teams.
I may give you 7.
Mm.
And with a
With a
first
bye.
round bye.
Really?
Uh-huh. And the reason why I'm saying that, because what I've noticed is that once you go past 6, you start going to losing records. When I've looked back at the history of the league, after 6, they're losing records. And yeah, that's just not worthy, of a playoffs. A losing team in the playoffs, that's not forced.
Gotcha.
So I think there has to be some standards set. And so a winning record should secure you a playoff berth, not a losing record.
Gotcha.
And actually, that's what happened. A winning record has secured a spot. A losing record has kept you out. And 500, you fought. And I just think that's high. Because, like even if we had added a 7th team last year, it would have been another 500 team. If we had an 8th team last year, it would have been another 500 team. So, being being 500, I just don't think is a demand for you to be in the playoffs. If we get to the point where teams with winning records are not making the playoffs, then we have to reevaluate. But you want to make the playoffs an achievement. You don't want to make it, or don't worry about, like baseball. Oh, we can go lose these 30 games, but we good because we can still get in.
Gotcha.
You make and then that way you make every game important.
That's facts.
You make every game hard, and you make that last week important, because even last year with some of the teams that were in, it ended up, hey, listen, we can put them out if we win. And we don't want to see them again. And so
that was a real conversation.
So it was like people were looking to put people out so they don't,
Right.
So that you just make every game important.
Gotcha. With ref fees going up, doesn't that mean more teams making playoffs?
I do not control the ref fees. I did
not
raise the ref fees, so that is nothing that I control. We don't see that money.
That's an Ed question there. All right, shoot, let's go, James. Week 1, man. Let's go. Count division. Let's start. Let's get this thing started.
Let's see what we got. So we are going to open up week 1 at 8 a.m. with P&F. No, I'm sorry. They're not at 8 a.m. They're at 8:30. I'm just gonna say the teams. So the first game over at the other field, we have.
Hey, real quick, Jane, not to cut y'all. I just saw this picture. Hey, that was a dope award ceremony you had, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Everything was nice, man. The food was laid out. I saw some guys going back 3-4 times hitting them plates. But it was a great showing, man. It was one of the better turnouts I've seen from the league. From the ones I've been to, I thought it was pretty good. I think there was still a lot of teams who didn't represent, but which is a shame. But
they have time to think about it.
But shout out to you.
One this summer.
Boom! Shout out to y'all that did show up. I feel you on that. But go ahead.
Thank you, because we did. Especially shout out to DJ PJ who came out on the 1s and 2s. So we open up with PNF at Goon Squad.
PNF at Goon Squad.
PNF said they're in the conversation.
I'm going with PNF.
There we go. Start it off.
Start it off.
Yeah, I'm going with PNF too.
Okay. Billy, it's on you.
Rare form finna come through trim. Billy got PNF.
Okay, PNF for this week. Okay. Next game.
I'm a little old, Emmanuel. I don't know what that means. I need an interpreter, please. I'm assuming that means they're gonna do good.
What did he say?
He said rare form finna come through trim. See, trim to me is a whole nother conversation. So
because sometimes trim can mean that they some cut. They're not gonna do good. So yeah, I would need to know how he means that.
Okay.
All right. So in the next game, we got PNF hosting Zoo.
So is Sydney still with Zoo?
Sydney is still with the new Zoo.
There's a new Zoo?
There's a new Zoo.
So they're not called Zoo?
They're Zoo. But the animals at that zoo got shipped out. He's got a fresh new set.
So Sydney came in clean house.
Yeah, you get with the program or you get you a new program.
Hey, man. See, and this is what happens when jokers don't pay the league fees and one person, hey, that's the control. I like it. I respect it. Gotta respect it.
Billy got PNF again.
Yeah, I'm going PNF too. Dominique said PNF by 16.
I saw that.
He said it ain't close.
But one thing I will say is that, if you're running a program and your people are not doing what you want to do, whether you crap or not, you need to get a new set of people. Because if they're not listening, it ain't never going to work. You know what I'm saying? So you go get you a new set of people. Now, if it don't work this time, you might want to go ahead and look in that mirror. But, you can't force a round peg in a square hole. Square peg in a round hole.
Square peg in a round
So if that's
hole.
not working for you, he did the right thing.
Right.
But now it's on him to prove that it was them and not him. So,
He said not Zoo Atlanta, Zoo Georgia.
so it's on Dwayne, Zoo or
Hey, but shout out to Sydney on his recruiting abilities, though, because his recruiting abilities is incredible.
PNF. Okay, so PNF is going 2-0 opening day. It got you in the lead, PNF. All right, so the next game we got the Crew hosting Goon Squad.
It's a new team.
Before
It's a new team?
before we get into this prediction,
Okay.
this is a new team,
Okay.
Angelo. The Crew. How we feel about this name?
It is definitely better
Okay.
than ice cream, and y'all know how I feel about CB, whatever
Okay.
that junk was.
So that means they'll win a game. Then you don't dislike the game.
I don't-
So that means they'll win a game.
I don't dislike the name.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't dislike the name. How they spelling it? Regular CREW?
KREW.
Okay.
Give
I roll
them
with
New
it.
Orleans.
So are these are these
Familiar faces in new places?
Yeah.
Yes.
okay.
Led by Maurice. Mo.
Maurice got it. Okay.
Longtime DOA player.
So he's back, huh?
He's back with his team, The Crew.
Okay. And who they play?
They got Goon Squad. Billy got Goon Squad. Not TCBY. That is not their name. It's TYB.
I'm with you, Billy. Nice guys though. Nice
Dwayne,
guys. Horrible
The
name.
Crew or Goon Squad? Who is on who? The Crew? That's most team.
They got a quarterback.
I have no clue who their players are. I know one or two. Well, no, you know what? I take that back. Based on what I was told, yes, they have a decent quarterback. If it's the person that I'm told that it's going to be, yes. It's a comp division quarterback that's decent for that comp division.
I don't know one team, so I'm gonna go with the other team.
Kwame and Goon Squad?
Yeah, they've been in it for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go with the new team. And no offense, the Crew just don't know who they are. So
You said you going with Goon Squad too?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay. Will,
And I'm gonna do a better
Angelo,
job
and
checking you guys
Dwayne
out.
pick the Zoo?
Who they play?
The Zoo is hosting the Swamp Bucks.
Who are the Swamp Bucks? That's the question we got. Who are the Swamp? Did they retool? Because that's the question. Is DJ back?
I'm not sure.
He had Achilles though, didn't
I don't think,
he?
from what his injury was, I don't suspect he should be back this season.
If he had surgery, he definitely won't be back.
He was in a boot, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if he had the surgery or not. Maybe he went the natural healing.
Youngblood said the Crew is probably one of the better new names.
I
Speaking
agree.
of new teams, I did
I
find
agree.
out why we did not get the return of Shockwave 2.0.
Don't-
There was an Achilles injury.
Oh,
The
really?
quarterback, yes. So, but he's about ready to be back in action. So, you know, we might be seeing him on your schedule in the fall. So
Byron.
Billy broke the mold. Billy picked the Zoo. Angelo,
Zoo, who they playing again? I'm sorry.
Swamp Bucks.
Oh. We don't know who the Swamp Bucks are, man. This would usually be an easy pick. But Cole, I don't know what you got going on over there, brother.
A gander.
I hate the roll with. I did pick Zoo one time though. It was the other team I didn't pick. I picked Zoo one time last season. I gotta go with Zoo, man.
I mean, based on this roster, Swamp Bucks have definitely retooled because they at the max,
Really?
and they were not at the max last season.
Mm.
So they have people.
I will be watching more of these comp games this year.
Oh wow!
Naturally from the footage, but I'm gonna definitely be able to make very good predictions on y'all about the second half of this season.
I see some zoo transplants. Okay. Oh,
Some Zoo transplants, huh?
Okay. Interesting. So With that being said, who was your prediction?
I'm going Zoo.
Okay. Dwayne.
Zoo and Swamp Bucks, Dwayne.
Okay. Zoo for the clean sweep. Okay. So the next game, we got our grudge match. We got DOA hosting Mo. As you know, Mo was one of the leaders for DOA. Now he's going back into enemy territory.
Yeah, I'm going DOA off the rip, though.
Okay. Dwayne. Mo.
Mo's the coach.
Okay. Billy.
Billy got DOA.
Okay. No one's want to step out there yet. Okay. I guess I can figure out what y'all got on this next game. So we got Swamp Bucks hosting DOA.
I definitely think the crew could beat Doom Squad. I just haven't seen it.
DOA again.
So I guess we go. Let me look at Robert's rules of order. We go call for unanimous consent.
Yeah, I think
Any
so.
objections? Okay, we're moving on.
Yeah.
So the next game we have Raiders at TYB. TYB has increased their roster this season. They have more players than they had last season, so they're coming back. As again, Raiders have made some tweaks. They got a new quarterback that's not a wide receiver.
Really?
Well, technically, he was a wide receiver, but yeah. Billy got Raiders.
I got Raiders.
Dwayne. TYB. Okay. Now, I think this might be the first split. I think someone's going to go out there. I think someone's going to have faith, and I think it's Dwayne. I think Dwayne is going to pick differently than you and Billy on this one.
Okay.
So I'm going to let Dwayne pick last. We got Raiders hosting United.
Ooh.
I expect this to be a good game.
Ew.
Definitely expect this to be a good game. Billy, who you got?
I see Raiders. I did it for the last pick. I'm not sure that was this one.
Patriots didn't retire, Dom. They just took a season off. They'll be back.
I'm going United.
Lowe got United. Billy got United. Dwayne has. I kind of figured Dwayne would go. He would feel confident on this upset. So that would give you the lead, Dwayne, because everybody else, the rest of the season, y'all picked the same. And in the last game, I think I can once again call for unanimous consent. TYB at the United. Yeah, that's why I say unanimous consent. I think we are going to pick United in that. Not saying TYB cannot win. I just think that we're going to reserve our win for them later into the season.
Yeah, gotta see what these new looks look like. See if they got some any veteran leadership on that team, because they got to learn. But they got some ability though. I don't like the name, but there's some nice guys.
Okay, now moving over to the pro division.
Mustard.
Yeah, we had some mustard on this beat. We got opening up today. We got Predators at Joe World. I think it's safe to say, Billy, you're picking Predators. So let me go ahead and put you on over there. Dwayne. Raiders and United game of the week for comp. Where you at, Justin and Ivan? We own y'all. Ooh. Ooh, they talking smack. Raiders say they own United.
What is it?
Is that the regular season though? Dwayne, Predators, Joe World.
Say they reload. They reloaded, man. Everybody got 30-man rosters out there, but us.
Listen. What these rosters looking like? Let's just glance at the roster.
Real Geechee say United over the Raiders. Yeah, Billy, we figured you gonna pick the Predators, man. It was a real stretch for you there, Billy.
21, 27, 23, 21, 24, 16, 21, 28, 30, 27, 26, 29, 23, 15,
Hold on, let me ask you this.
26, 18,
Let
and
me ask
20.
you this, Jay. I'm just gonna ask you a random question and you just nod your head and this will make my pick. Is Dre Joe
From
Don't say that.
No.
They still got their same quarterback?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Man, Billy. Ooh, y'all saying I don't never pick y'all.
Predators over Joe World. That's what Geechee said.
I'm gonna go Predators.
Okay, Dwayne.
Dwayne with Predators.
Dwayne is going with Predators.
Billy, hey, take Billy, put Billy in the chair. Are you gonna be there?
Billy on here now.
Is he gonna be there? Thanks him that.
Billy will be there.
Will Arnold be there?
Dwayne got Predators. Billy, of course, got Predators. Means I'm going JW. We're gonna stir it up. We're gonna stir the pot up right here. Let go mustard.
Next game we got. I would call for unanimous consent, but I think Billy is not gonna agree with that. Next game on the schedule we got New Jack at Predators.
Interesting.
Jay, I'm looking down to read the small fine print on my phone.
I got New Jack.
Dwayne, you got Predators? Billy, are you trying to stay in the race or are you trying to be loyal? What you doing?
He got Predators.
Okay. All right, so next we got Joe World at New Jack.
Interesting.
I think.
Don got New Jack.
I think.
She got New Jack by 24.
God. God. I mean, I got New Jack. This is gonna be This should be a good trash talking game, though.
Dwayne. Mon has New Jack. Isn't that funny, Mon?
Billy got New Jack.
Next we have Georgia Elite at Rare 4. And this will be a good game. I don't expect a blowout.
So Keith on back with New Jack.
Oh, Keith on got New Jack.
He with New Jack, right?
Yes. And so is Mon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Keith on a dog too. I figure Keith on the dog. He's a good player. Who you got?
Georgia Elite at Rare Form.
That's a good start out game.
This game.
This game means a lot to both of them teams too.
I think the loser of this game will be under the team that they're playing in the playoffs. I think these two teams may end up tied, and the winner will take the tiebreaker.
This could. You saying this could have some tiebreaker
I think
implications early on?
Implications early. Terry has rare form. Billy took rare.
Billy got rare form.
Low. You don't want to make the wrong choice.
Because this is gonna be a really good game, and Georgia Elite, like you said, Georgia Elite struggled early, but they started.
It depends on what Montel we get.
Yeah, they started coming on.
It depends on if Montel is there, but I do believe he's gonna make this game.
I'm going Georgia Elite.
But if you don't make the season opener, you setting the bad tone for the whole season.
I'm going Georgia Elite. But that's gonna
Wayne,
be a good one.
Which way will you lean? It's 1-1 right now.
Yeah, based on the supporting cast, you're right about that.
You know, towards the end of the season, he had a good the support.
That's what I'm
cast
saying.
got better.
They
came in with the new players they actually had 2 award winners at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's what I said. They came on towards the end of the season. You know, the team we played wasn't a good representation, but they definitely got better after that.
I like both teams, man. Because I don't know the additions and the subtractions, I'm going to just kind of go off of history.
Mm-hmm.
Guess I'm going to have to go Georgia Elite.
Okay,
I'm
2-1, Georgia.
I'm surprised when you say that.
Rare form, you are the official underdog.
I really want rare form to win.
Terry says Rare Form's going to win 12-8. Terry, what team do you play for? So the next game we have,
I can see a 12-8 game though. I think it's gonna be a good game.
I could see a 12-8 game either way, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The next game will be a revenge game.
Okay.
Smoke wants revenge. Georgia Elite beat Rare Form for the first time in their team history last season. Georgia Elite wants to repeat.
And you said Georgia Smoke and Georgia Elite and Rare Forms.
I'm sorry. So Georgia
You just confused me.
Elite beat Smoke for the first time in team history last season.
Okay.
Smoke was upset about that, so I think Smoke was coming out to try to prove a point.
Now, was this Smoke pre-Geo or post-Geo?
This was Smoke with Geo.
Oh, they beat Smoke with Geo?
And they beat 4-4. And again, this was the first 2 times they beat both of those teams in team history.
Okay.
So, okay, Terry with New Jack. Okay. Oh, that's Palmer. Okay. So who we got? Smoke or Georgia Elite?
Who going? Me?
Dwayne has Smoke. Billy, what you got?
I got Smoke too.
Smoke across.
On the assumption that Geo gonna be there, I got Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Keithon got Georgia Elite. Billy got Smoke.
Okay. I mean, again, you know, I could see a situation where
Gate said Geo wasn't there. Yeah, okay. That's why I said my pick is based on the assumption Geo gonna be there.
I thought y'all played them later in the season, Gates. My bad. The next game we got, this is a doozy. Again, so according to Angelo and Dwayne, Rare Form, you guys are on life support already because they picked Georgia Elite in the first week. Will they pick you in this game against YB? They standing there with the plug. Dwayne, what we got? Dwayne, you pulled the plug on Rare Form. Okay.
The first week, man. They can bounce back.
You know, again, this is just a mild concussion right now. And next week we'll see if that's gonna turn into a coma or you gonna recover. Angela.
I got YB as well. But I'm gonna tell you something about this rare form team. They have have been pretty much in every single game. So it's just a matter of whether or not they're able to fix those little hiccups they have. But I know YB has reloaded.
Both teams have reloaded, actually.
Yeah. So if I have two teams that reloaded, I'm gonna take the more experienced, adaptable team. Because you can reload and not know how to use your pieces.
That is true.
So it's gonna be a matter of who knows how to use those pieces and do those pieces mesh, and there's a whole lot of stuff come with adding a bunch of players. So
when somebody just added a great player. Oh, it don't show you who. You won't be able to see who. You'll see the player, but you won't see who they went.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody picked Smoke in the previous game, and then everybody picked YB in this game. So what's gonna happen when YB plays Smoke in the next game? Who we got?
Interesting. Good game. Or this Pro Division gonna be real. This Pro Division gonna be real, boy. I like it.
Billy got YB.
I think that's from the last pick, though, wasn't it?
Nuh-uh.
That
was the last.
Yeah, he picked YB though. He did pick him though. He just did it again. YB and Smoke. Who you got, Dwayne?
Ooh, that's a good one. Man. I'm gonna double tap YB. I mean, man playing right.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Lee playing?
I'm not sure if Lee playing, but man got some help this time.
Yeah.
Geechee got Smoke. Angelo, who you got?
You know what? I'm rolling with Geechee. I'm gonna pick the difference.
Okay, you got Smoke.
I'm gonna go with Smoke.
They
Juan
opening
Hill
up.
said that'd be a good one, but YB. It's gonna be a good one.
They going deep on the first play of the Gates and saying Darren Smoke YB.
Everybody picking YB there for the most part.
We got another good game coming up after this.
Okay.
A really good game. We got last season's champions, Outsiders, against the last season's runner-up, Shockwave, in a game where Angelo felt like that game was not played to completion. So you'll get your get back.
That's a political way of saying that, John.
So who do we have here, Dwayne? Outsiders or Shockwave?
Question is, Billy, who you got, Billy? Who you got, Billy?
Basically, we're going to leave that one to Billy.
Yeah. Who you got?
Billy got Shockwave. Okay. So,
Rich fella's low. Yeah, I see you, man. Okay.
OYC. Okay, Geechee. Okay. The next game, we have last season's champions versus last season's champions. We got the Battle of the Champions. LOZ at Outsiders.
Hey, way to stir this junk up, James. Way to stir this thing up, man. I like it.
So who we got?
Way to stir this thing up.
Champion versus champion. Rick and Ron got Outsiders. Lo, you got Dwayne, you got Outsiders. Billy, who you got? Outsiders. Dwayne, who you got?
You already said outside.
Which champion do you have, Lo? You got the big joke or the little joke?
I gotta go outsiders,
Which joke?
man. I gotta go outsiders.
Okay. Outsiders for the clean sweep.
Yeah, I gotta go
I don't
outsiders.
think Geechee likes that.
I just OIC for sure. No question. Man.
And to close out the week, we have last season's champions against last season's runner-up, Shockwave at LOZ. Billy, who you got?
Welcome to the Pro Division, LOZ. Welcome up top, buddy. My boy John.
Geechee, give me a score in this game. LOZ and Shockwave. Give me your score, Geechee. Where Geechee got LOZ for the win.
Yeah.
Billy got Shockwave. Okay. Billy did not want to make a statement. You sure you don't want to break the tie, Billy? Geechee say Amos had better be there or y'all ain't got no chance because he still gonna beat y'all 8-6.
Ain't gonna be 86 this year because my kicker finally going doggone. He got ain't gonna be no 6 this year.
Marquand got Shockwave. Well, I mean, there could be 2 field goals. Okay, so
He'll be there.
I think that's a good opening week.
That's an excellent opening week. Who's your game of the week?
The game of the week for the Pro Division will be the rematch of the championship game, Outsiders versus Shockwave. And the game of the week for the Comp Division will be the Get
We
Back.
don't need more than 10, Billy. Y'all know that. We don't need more than 10. All we need is 10. If we got 12, it's a great day.
Shockwave have more than 10 players.
Hey, if we got 10, we good, buddy.
Oh, in the game of the week, again, in the Comp Division will be Raiders and United. Let's see if Raiders drops the extra point
Jay
that wins
Youngblood
the
picked
game.
outside. I'm assuming it's outside in the Shockwave game, right? Jay?
Yeah.
See, gotta get a turnover. Shockwave like to control the clock. Yes, sir. We'll keep letting y'all run, young boy, run
Billy
with all
said,
y'all.
but is it the right
20
10?
year olds.
Just because you got 10. What you saying, Billy? They gonna have 10 linemen?
See, we've done that before too.
Or you got 5 newbies, 5 vets and 5 newbies. Oh, interesting. Okay.
We don't hold my. Hey man, our roster don't flip flop like that, Billy. Y'all know that. Our roster don't flip flop like that, man. We got a couple new pieces though.
So that's what our opening week will look like. Some good games all around. The weather's going to be nice. Tomorrow's the last day for the rain. Saturday it'll be sunny, and then Sunday it'll be sunny.
Cause this rain been ridiculous.
Crazy, right? Just crazy.
Crazy.
But we won't have any of that on Sunday, so nobody's game should be affected by the rain. Raiders won't have to worry about dropping the extra point that could win the game against United, and we can really see what happens. Yeah, it's going to be 85 degrees on Sunday. Nice and sunny.
Have we should have had Ed on here tonight too, man. Have we done any kind of do you know where they at with their informational sessions or training sessions, all the stuff we talked about at the end of last season, to get some of these issues corrected?
I
or
do
at least
not.
be able to address them. Yeah,
But I do know that Ed will be back. He is back off of injured reserve, so he will be at Carver this week to help mitigate those circumstances.
you about right, Billy. I agree with you on that one, though. Yeah, it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be a great season. I can see that coming now.
I wouldn't listen to Geechee if I was you.
Pro division
Honcho.
is gonna be airtight for sure.
And so, so aside from that, Brawl for It All registration is open. We're getting a lot of teams registering for that. So if you guys are planning on registering, go ahead and get your deposits in. Based on what we're seeing now, some of those divisions are going to fill up. And when they fill up, there will be no space. We won't be able to make room. So go ahead and get your registration in. The site is up. Rosters close tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Let's make sure we understand that. Rosters lock at 11:59 p.m. And guess what? I'm going to beat you to the point. My phone is going to die at 11:59 p.m. So you don't have to worry about your phone dying and you couldn't get in, because mine's going to die at 11:59 p.m. So, and it won't come back on until 8 o'clock Sunday.
Hilarious.
Because I'm going to just be getting off work. And the site's not going to be working on my phone.
Hilarious.
So I'm telling you now, 11:59. That's it. The rosters will be made available for everybody to see at 12 o'clock. Won't be no changes. Lions Den loading. Is that Carver baseball field is parking lot is packed.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. So this be exciting, James. Season 11, man, should be you got some good matchups. Start off both comp and pro. It should be a lot of fun. Any rules and regulations you gotta pick out, remind people of real quick?
I mean, the same old ones, of course. We don't, if unfortunately you get into any fights, that's, you out. But I think based on this situation and how stressful that, let me just say this. If you caught with illegal players on your roster, there's nothing to talk about. We're not taking them off. We're not death or forfeit. Go home. That game's over. Get off the field. And unfortunately,
y'all know some of these guys roster check.
The action,
they checking y'all rosters at 12:01.
Well, I mean, and not just because of that, because we in our situation over there because somebody that shouldn't have been playing,
right?
That wasn't on the roster, and it feels like extremely hard to come by. McNair told us we could come back if we paid $600 a week for security. So an extra $3,000 a season.
But they're police.
It has to be school police.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
So it's all good until it's not. Everything I think is funny until it's not. That's why everything is a team penalty, because the team should be responsible for what their players do. And when we look at the video, we saw, even though it was team on team, your teammates should be worried about preventing that type of stuff versus, not doing anything about it. And that's why all penalties are team penalties. But, so once, we even was discussing updating that, if a team does something to cost us something, that team might have to find another league to play in. Everybody registered on the team. Because it's no fun, out here begging and pleading and prying, trying to find a location because, stuff like that happened and, people are telling you, oh, no, we saw it, so no, or, you have to have security because we saw it, so no, and, crazy work. But
right.
It is what it is. We'll make it work as we always do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you got Brawl for It All, July.
July 25th through
July
the
25th
27th.
to 27th.
And then, of course,
Bayou Brawl.
We still got the Bayou Brawl in New Orleans. Next month, we'll put up the soft registration for that, so you could at least register without sending a deposit, so we can gauge who's going. So we'll know how much field space we'll possibly need. But yeah. And then I'm sorry, that sounds like an issue between him and you.
Hey, man. Good luck to everybody this weekend. Great way to start the season off. Should be a lot of fun. Next Thursday should be some real interesting conversation, especially for anybody that goes 0-2 week one, and whether or not they look like they can come out that hole. 0-2 is a beast to start off the season. So,
Give me your top 4 in the pro, Dwayne, at the end of the season. Who we looking at? Top 4 seeds. Just a pure prediction. Gut feeling. That's all this is. Gut feeling. In the pro division. YB. New Jack. Shockwave. Outside. Okay. Dwayne, top 4. End of the season. Pro division.
Dad, they ain't offer you a check yet. 4.1 million views, boy. They supposed to offer you something.
Right?
God, dog. And that's crazy, man, because that thing there has been talked about on some major podcasts. I mean, that thing was seen by a lot of people, man. That jump's crazy.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, man. That went viral. I'm talking about with a capital V.
Top 4. Billy, your top 4 to finish the season. Who you got, Dwayne?
Me?
Uh-huh.
I got Shockwave, New Jack, YB, Smoke.
Okay. Shockwave, New Jack, YB, Smoke. And Billy.
And that's based on Gio being there at least 8 games.
Gio being there 8 games. Okay. All right. While we're waiting on Billy's top 4 in the pro, what's your top 4 in the comp? Dwayne, Angelo.
I got DOA, United, Raiders, PNF.
Okay. That's your fault? Okay. And then, Billy, you can give me your 4 over there as well. So, give me your 8.
Geechee got New Jack, YB, Gas, and LOZ. Nah, Keith, he just missed the first half of the season last season. So, I don't know if it was
It was
work-related.
the first 2 weeks because of work. He worked
Yeah,
a night
work-related,
shift,
so, yeah.
they had morning games.
You know, first 2 weeks is darn near half the season, so. That's 4 out of 10 games. That's 1 game away from half, so, you know.
Darian Bell, New Jack, YB outside of Shockwave. Is Billy even still with us?
I don't know.
Uh, 2:33.
Yeah, so.
Who is it? Oh, that's true.
This is boy, the hookah stick. Yeah, that's the only reason. But when he showed up, he did what he do. So he said, "I've been hoodwinked, bamboozled." All right, James. Anything else, brother?
That's all we got.
We ain't waiting on Billy.
Waiting on Billy.
No, we ain't waiting on Billy.
Yeah, so he can text him. He can text him.
Yeah.
We'll put him in. I've just marked him down, so we'll have everything we need. Remember, same rules apply for parking at Carver. For my pro teams, don't come up that hill. Park down at the bottom. As always, no smoking, no alcohol. Remember, I hope the teams told them, that's an automatic fine and suspension. We went over that at the captain's meeting. So that has been upgraded. Not just James, my bad. You can sit out of the game and talk about it and remember it. So, yeah.
All right. Well, that's it, man. Good week one on the way. Looking forward to talking about this next week, man. See how these things turned out. See who the upset gonna be. I'm sure it's always gonna be upset in week one. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of who the upset gonna be. But it's gonna be somebody. But it should be interesting. We got new Jackie in the end. That's been the talk for the last year or so. So here it is, man. Here it is. No more talk. Everybody gets the doggone show up to the field and put your bootstraps on and you know what I mean? Make it happen. I'm looking forward to seeing it. What was LOZ versus Raiders score last season, Geechee? Share with class. God dog. What's all the Raiders about? What are they proving? Oh, man.
Like, it's getting heated.
Oh, man, I love it, man.
It's getting heated. Do y'all play each other on the cross division week? Because that sounds like they need to see each other. LOZ. Nah, they don't play. In the cross week, which will be on it.
The end say gas not making it. Oof.
Oh, wow. Y'all play Raiders on the cross week, Shawway.
Okay, good.
Y'all get to see what they about firsthand.
Good. I like playing them.
United asked for YB in the cross week.
They definitely asked for him.
And they got him.
Yeah. Oh, boy, he been after that every week. He been asking for it.
Well, he got it.
Fly by night and 4-4 quit. We just know they're not playing this season.
That's not quite true.
That's the political way.
I think Fly by Night, they didn't quit. They retired, and 4-4 took the season off. And LOZ will see DOA in the cross week, a rematch. I know they wanted some get back. That's some interesting cross week game. Yeah.
So for that week, you gotta look at the schedule to know where you're playing at then, right? Cause
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that'll be June 29th. So yeah, you definitely have to pay attention to the schedule to see where you're.
So there's a Virginia Beach week off or something. Is that?
Well, only some of the teams. That's the 22nd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 of the teams will be playing that week.
Okay.
Whereas 10 said that they were going.
Gotcha.
See if 10 go, but
yeah.
It'll be amazing.
It would be amazing. Highly doubtful. I see maybe 3.
I give it 5.
5's a lot.
I'll be optimistic.
5's a lot.
5 out of 10, that's 50%.
I mean, I think you have some combinations going.
DOA, NBA, NCAA, LOL.
That's funny. The LOZ by 21.
Most say y'all think it's sweet. Interesting. This is going to be a great season. Bring this excitement, enthusiasm to the field.
They don't want to see us again for cross week, Marquand Hill said.
Who is Marquand? What team you with? Gas not making the playoffs.
That's what he said.
Dang, Gas.
Said Gas not going to make it.
My bad.
Surprised Gates must went to sleep. He ain't comment on that jump.
He ain't see it. He ain't see it.
Gates must went to bed.
The Gas got people returning from injury. Fresh. I don't know. This I don't know. I can't sleep on Gas. CZ make flag great again. Marquand with DOA. Okay. No fighting Sunday, ladies.
True that.
Please not.
True that.
But I
Be respectful. Be respectful. Hear that, D? My boy, Lil D. Yeah, Lil D. Be respectful, man. That's my boy right there. We're going to talk trash the whole game. I already know. All right, James. 5-Star Sports is back, man. Season 11. We're going to talk about it next week, man. For your boy James Reese over there, man, Mr. 5-Star Sports himself. It's boy Low, man, and we're going to sign off till next week, man. Peace.
Yeah.